The city god examination. The grandfather of my elder sister's husband was a man named Song Tao, a state-sponsored scholar in the county. One day, while lying ill in bed, he saw an official holding a summons and leading a white-blazed horse. The man said, "You are summoned to take the examination." Song replied, "The chief examiner has not yet arrived. How can the exam be held so abruptly?" The official did not answer his question, but urged him insistently. Despite his illness, Song mustered his strength, mounted the horse, and followed. The road was utterly unfamiliar. After some time, they arrived at a walled city, grand as an imperial capital. Soon, they entered a government complex, where the hall was magnificent and imposing. In the hall sat over a dozen officials, none of whom he recognized, except for Lord Guan Yu, the martial saint. Beneath the eaves, 2 desks and 2 stools were set up. A scholar was already seated at the far end, so Master Song took his place beside him, shoulder to shoulder. On each desk lay brushes and paper. Suddenly, an examination question came fluttering down. Written upon it were 8 characters. 1 man, 2 men, with intent, without intent. When the 2 scholars finished their essays, they presented them to the officials in the hall. In his examination essay, Scholar Song wrote, "Those who are virtuous by intention, though virtuous, shall not be rewarded. Those who are wicked without intention, though wicked, shall receive no punishment." The deities, upon reading this, passed it around with murmurs of admiration. Summoning Song forward, their leader proclaimed, "The post of city god in Henan lies vacant. You are deemed worthy to fill it." Only then did Song realize the truth. He stood not among the living, but in the halls of the underworld. Kowtowing until his forehead touched the ground, he pleaded through tears, "Though humbled by dishonor, how dare I refuse? Yet, My aged mother, 70 winters old, has none to tend her twilight years. Grant me but to serve her until heaven claims her. Then I shall return to accept my duty. The figure seated in the position of imperial authority immediately ordered an examination of his mother's lifespan register. A long-bearded clerk holding the ledger flipped through its pages and reported, "There remain 9 years in her mortal allotment." While the deities hesitated in deliberation, Lord Guan proposed, "Let Scholar Zhang hold the seal as interim city guard. When 9 years pass, the succession may occur." This would suffice. Then, addressing Scholar Song, the deities pronounced, "By duty, you must assume office forthwith. Yet, honoring your filial piety, we grant 9 years leave. When the term ends, you shall be summoned anew." After the deities offered a few words of encouragement to Scholar Zhang, both men kowtowed and withdrew. Scholar Zhang clasped Song's hands and accompanied him all the way to the wilderness outskirts. Introducing himself as Zhang of Changshan, he composed a farewell poem. Though most lines are now forgotten, these verses linger in memory. With blooms and wine in place, spring never dies. Where neither moon nor lantern shines, night self-illumes. Once mounted on his horse, Scholar Song bid farewell and departed. Upon reaching his hometown, he awoke abruptly as if from a deep dream, only to realize he had been dead 3 days. His mother, hearing groans from within the coffin, had him helped out. It took half a day before he could speak coherently. When inquiries were made in Changshan, they confirmed the existence of Scholar Zhang, who had indeed died on the very day of Song's passing. 9 years later, Song's mother died as foretold. After completing her funeral rites, Song purified himself through ritual ablutions, entered his chamber, and peacefully departed this life. Song Tao's father-in-law resided inside the western gate of the city. One day, the family suddenly beheld Song arriving in magnificent procession. His steed adorned with gold filigreed breastplates and crimson tasseled bridle, accompanied by a retinue of carriages and horsemen. Song ascended the main hall, paid a single solemn bow and departed. Stunned and bewildered, the family initially failed to recognize his divine status. Only after rushing to inquire in the village did they learn Song had already passed away. Song had once written a short account of his life, but sadly, it was lost in the chaos of war. What remains here is merely an outline.